Want to do a killer job on your next work presentation or job interview? Well, if so, the best thing to do in the 24 hours before your presentation might be going to the park and feeding the ducks rather than trying to cram in more research or developing one more slide. Because that's part of what I call the speaker's stress fast. And it can be crucial in allowing you to bring more focus, more authenticity, more charisma, and more calm into that crucial conversation, whether it's a presentation, a sales meeting, job interview, what have you. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mari Giaser, and I help you with your executive presence and your presentation skills. And the Speaker's Fast is what I want to talk to you about today. The Speaker's Fast is an intentionality and a set of habits that we bring to the 24 hours directly before that really important presentation or conversation. Because the way we live our daily lives is filled with things that mess with our stress system, that increase our adrenaline, that build up cortisol in our system, that fracture our focus, and that keep us in a heightened state. And normally that's okay, but it's sort of like having a cup that you're pouring water into. And if that cup is empty and you're pouring water in, that's fine. So you get a little daily stress into the cup, that's fine. You can use it up as you go through your life. But if your cup starts to get kind of full and then you have a presentation and you pour more stress in, it can spill over the sides all over the place and make a mess. And that's kind of what's happening for most people when they go to present. It's okay to have a little bit of stress for these important conversations, but you don't want so much nervousness and stress that your brain fogs out and you can't remember what you were saying, or your voice gets shaky and you have dry mouth and you stutter and your body language becomes less charismatic, your voice becomes harder to follow. You don't want that. And one way to not do that is to take care of yourself in the 24 hours beforehand. So I recommend a speaker's stress fast, where we're going to look at 3 components that you're really going to pay attention to. You're going to look at your physical stress, your social stress, and your mental stress. So for physical stress, reduce your caffeine, increase your water, get more sleep. A reduction in sleep is going to create a reduction in focus and charisma. So don't stay up the night before cramming. Get a little bit of extra sleep. Do what you need to make that happen. Also get a little bit more physical exercise if you can. And if you can, spend a little bit of time in nature, feeding the ducks. That will help a lot for your physical levels of adrenaline and cortisol, and it will help you biochemically be ready to do a great job the next day and have that nervousness stay in the ideal nervousness zone. But you also want to take care of yourself socially. You want more meaningful social connection and conversation and less conflict. But what is interesting is often when we're getting ready for something really important, we tend to consciously or unconsciously isolate. We tend to put our heads down, get to work, and not spend as much time with friends and family and loved ones as we otherwise would, saving that for after the presentation. But what we know is that social connection significantly impacts cortisol and adrenaline, and social connection significantly impacts your ability to mentally frame the nervousness and the fear of being judged good or bad by your presentation in a healthy way, as opposed to in a catastrophizing negative way. So spend time with your loved ones. Your presentation should be ready 48 hours before you're due to go on. Don't prep in the last minute. Prep earlier, spend time with people you care about. And if you're at a conference where you have to do a lot of networking, be sure you take a break, call someone you love on the phone so that you're not creating social exhaustion for yourself the day before. And then the last thing I want you to do is also mentally be doing a stress fast. Do not ruminate on how well it's going to go. Do not tell yourself or other people how nervous you are. You're just priming your subconscious that this is a crisis situation and you should be geared up and nervous, which is going to create more cortisol, adrenaline, and other stress components, right? So if you find yourself worrying about your presentation, reframe it as telling yourself you're giving your audience a gift. You're giving them information, opportunities, options, inspiration, whatever it is, you're there to give a gift. Say that to yourself and then change your focus. Focus on maybe going outside and taking a walk. Focus on spending time with a friend, something like that. Also, don't fantasize about how well it's going to go, because that will also put pressure on your subconscious of you have to perform perfectly. Instead, just commit to, I'm going to give a gift. Giving a gift is a good thing, even if it's not the perfect gift. People will appreciate the intention. Now I'm going to focus on something else. If you do these things in the 24 hours before that presentation, job interview, sales conversation, whatever it is, it will be easier to naturally and authentically bring your best, and you're less likely to get overly nervous and shut down so you're not presenting well. So what I want you to do is pick 2 or 3 of these things that you can try out in the 24 hours before your next presentation. I'll put a link to a handout in the comments below so you can get more ideas if you need it. Pick something, try it out. Do tell us in the comments what you tried. And I hope that you give yourself the grace to show up powerfully and wonderfully the next time you present. Thanks so much, and I'll see you for the next tip and trick.